We are live. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for another uh, Q&A. This time around, we're going to be talking about high strength steel. Thanks for joining us. And let me turn down this. That's some mute stuff. Sorry, guys. All right, we are live. All right. For some reason, I'm not getting updates on this thing. This time around. All right, here we go. Now we're good. All right, Ryan, Dave, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. A little bit of a rocky start. Dave, you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, perfect. So we always do the our little tool reviews, and not really reviews, but our little tool selection. Ryan, do you want to go first? Dave, you want to go first?
All right. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and go, Dave. I'm trying to still.
Well, after your great marketing advice from last week and the previous weeks, I went ahead and I put in another order for my notepads.
Ah.
I love these things. Ever since I saw that you had them or were handing them out or someone had them and we're handing them out, I thought it was a great idea. I'm going to open one up. Put a notepad, logo up top, number, website. It's always there. It's a good size. They could jot down notes, give it to a customer if they need to, something like that. Definitely love these things. It's nice to see them out too when you walk in and they're actually writing on them. They're actually using them. It's actually pretty cool to see. So, notepads, a nice little giveaway. Random, here you go, guys. You can give it to your salesmen. You can give it to customers. Great little multi-useful tool, I guess, that you guys can use.
I think we should do a marketing Q&A.
I think so too.
I think we should kill it with that. Maybe make that a little longer show because there's a lot of things that I think we do.
Yeah, we longer. I have to drink some water because it's going to be a long evening.
Definitely. Is that it, Dave?
Yeah, that's all I got. I mean, I was kind of thinking of something trying to come up with something a little bit different, and I actually gave one. Someone had asked me for one, I think last week, and so I went ahead and wanted to bring that because it was like, oh man, I forgot about these. So
perfect. Ryan, are you okay, or you want me to go, or what?
Oh,
what do you got, Chris?
What do you got?
You there, Ryan?
I'm here. You ready for me?
I'm getting. He's breaking up like crazy for me.
What do you
got? Dave, is he? Oh man, Ryan just dropped off. All right, so I got something. It's the paddle that you guys see in pretty much every video. I actually got this paddle from Mobile Tech Expo. Yeah, and it's a PDR Finesse. I don't know if they were giving these out for free. I mean, they weren't giving them out for free, but I don't know if it was a limited product that they were only giving out for MTE. But I believe I paid $20 or $25. I wrapped it with just some yarn, really, just to give it a little bit my handle.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually wrap it in what is it, bicycle tape, I guess they call it, like handlebar tape.
Okay.
So, and then I added this piece of leather that I have. I actually have this when I push. Sometimes I actually wrap this up with some tools sometimes. So I just cut a piece of leather.
Where did you get the leather from?
eBay. So you just look for thick leather, 100%, leather.
Because I know there's different thicknesses, I guess, when it comes to
I
leather.
don't know. This one's pretty thick, so and then I just basically super glued.
Oh, okay.
I just cut it out, super glued it,
Huh.
kind of shaved down the edges of it.
Yeah.
And that's it. So far, it's been lasting. I don't know. I kind of abuse my stuff, so if it lasts a few months, that's good.
Yeah, definitely.
Which one was that? Was that the PDR Finesse one?
So yes, sir. That's the PDS Finesse. Did you get one? PDR Finesse?
No, I'm still using Kyle's.
Oh, that's the one you got
That
from
Dave Johnson gave me.
the Dave Johnson, yeah. And that's probably a better paddle. But I came from the Craftsman hammer, so I wanted something with a little bit more width. So I kind of like this paddle. And the leather definitely adds a different effect when you knock down. So if some of you guys are kind of new to it, you try both sides. So right, it kind of gives it a dead blow effect to it. So then my next tool is the mini buffer.
You
don't have one?
I see them all the time. And I'm like, you know what? I need to get one, and I never.
This thing
ever
is
get
great,
one.
man.
That is a great buffer.
Yeah.
I just started using the Snap-on one. So the reason I'm using the Snap-on was because I had so many different batteries.
I hate the multiple batteries, though. That's the thing. So it's like if Makita came out with a buffer, and I think they actually one, then I would be okay, and I would go ahead and probably get it. But no, I don't have one. I need one that spins fast like that.
Yeah, this one is actually, I keep it on the number 1 setting right now. So
You got a wool pad on there, Chris? What are you buffing? Holy
hey,
moly.
I like to get in and get out. I mean, I don't use this on black cars or any dark color cars, but it does cut when you need it. So it needs to be clean. But this bad boy is I buy them for all my techs. Sometimes you get that scratch. I think it's like $119.
I think you get a kit for like $212 or something.
$212, okay. Yeah, it comes with the pads. I think they're 3-inch pads. So, but I give them just in case the customer wants the scratch buffed out. You know, you can do it by hand for the most part, but it just doesn't look professional. So, pull out the little mini buffer. Yeah. I also have the Milwaukee cordless 7-inch buffer too. That's actually a beast. I seen that in a body shop, so I went ahead and bought it. But this one is stout.
How do you deal with having batteries for everything? Like all the different batteries?
Well, I only have Makita and Milwaukee. And so the Milwaukee battery pack is kind of works with both. So it works with the M12 and M18. So as long as you got the Milwaukee charger, you pretty much can charge both. At least the chargers that I have can charge both. So it's fine with me. So it's just Milwaukee and Makita for me. And then I have this. I think I put this on the show at the beginning. I still haven't used it, so I was just hoping maybe someone who's used it on the show or that is watching can kind of explain this. But
the 2.0 one is a little better than that one.
Okay.
It's got a little more of a peak where the very tip is. That works really well with hail with large damage. Brings up a lot of metal at one time.
Definitely need to try that. Definitely. But I got this from the black box. And like I said, I haven't used it. Came in this nice little case. So that's it on that one. That's it for me. What about you? All right.
I got one item today and only one. New item on the list.
Yes.
Something
Finally.
new coming, guys.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Got the vlogger.
There we go.
So we'll see what happens. You know, that's the only goodness I've
Hopefully
had.
it just doesn't sit in the passenger seat and look pretty.
It may do that. It may do that.
Let's not do that. Let's step your game up.
Have you played with it? Have you turned it on, Ryan? Have you recorded one video yet?
I played around out back earlier today, so You know, it'll get there. It's gonna take me some practice, but we'll be all right.
Movie setting and just start recording.
It's got to be easier than learning how to push dents. So
It is.
Definitely.
You're just recording yourself.
we'll be all right. I got 2 pros over there behind my back, so we'll be good. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you're good.
All
right, so today's topic is aluminum high strength or ultra high strength steel, and what is the difference? So
you tell me.
So I put together some little different. Let me see if I can get this to work here. All right. So, which manufacturers use aluminum and high strength steel the most?
Honda.
So Honda uses a lot of high strength steel, right?
Oh yeah.
And which panels tend to be used or tend to be high strength steel? Do you know?
Fenders now, like I believe the new Hondas have fenders, the doors. I know the quarters still aren't, but I know almost all of the Honda hoods are aluminum, high strength steel fenders. Some of the doors are high strength steel. So it's a little bit of everything. But I think Honda is the
leading edge. Now I remember when the Ultima had the high strength steel roof. I believe they had the doors a long time ago. I think I was working on like an 08 or 2011. I can't really remember, but that's when I was exposed to high strength steel. And I remember I think it was a Titan, and they had high strength steel fenders. Boy, that taught me a lesson. When was your first time experiencing high strength steel? Like, when did you say, "Whoa, what is going on here"?
Honda fender.
It was a Honda fender.
Yep.
I just did
Honda Accord. I think it was a Honda Accord for me, and I was like, "Whoa." It wasn't the same. Like, and that's where, like, I don't know the complete like differences between all of them. I just know that when I'm in there and I'm pushing, it is not the same, and I have to do things differently. So I'm using a little sharper tools. I'm using a little bit more, trying to move that metal a lot faster. I'm incorporating heat and stuff like that because, I mean, it's for some of these smashes, and it is like a high strength steel or ultra high strength steel panel. I mean, it does require more work.
Yeah, it does a lot more. So what would you say that repair? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ryan.
Again, finish what you were saying. You're good.
Dave, what do you say that repair? How long did it take you additionally to repair that damage?
I don't remember, but it definitely. I know. I just know when I encounter it, even now in the field, and something's like a Jeep Grand Cherokee door, high strength steel. Like, they don't push as easy as a non-high strength steel door. You know what I mean? They take longer. They can be. It can range anywhere from, if it's a 5 minutes turning into 20. If it's 20, it's turning into an hour. I mean, it just depends on the damage.
Yeah, definitely. Ryan, what about you? What was your first time experiencing that high strength steel?
I don't remember the first. I just did a 18 Odyssey 2 weeks ago, and man, that thing was difficult. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. It's the way the metal moves. You can still see your pushes, but it just doesn't seem to move as well as it usually does.
I feel like it doesn't have a memory.
It was a tough fender. I mean, it hard body line hit, and then at the lip, it kind of had a swell. So you're at that point of not knowing what's high and what's low in your light when you're trying to move your head around. You're trying to figure it out. It's difficult. So, but I think a lot of the companies are going to the high strength steel. I did see some stuff with ultra high strength steel. But I'll take a high strength steel fender over a 15 or 15 and up F-150 any day.
Oh man.
So,
well, I remember when I worked on a Honda Accord and the it was the front door, and the guy was actually price shopping, and I quoted him just a standard. I think it was like $250. It was a kind of a 4-inch dent through the body line, standard dent. I mean, I'm thinking Honda Accord. The body lines are kind of low, no bracing. I'm gonna be in and out, and that dent took me 3 hours. I just didn't have the same tools that I have now, like the dent dial and stuff like that. But whoa, I said something is going on. When I get done with this repair, I'm gonna Google this car. I'm gonna figure this bad boy out. And it was basically a 2000. It was basically like a 2004 Honda Accord. So it was definitely not good at all. So that was my first experience with Honda, high strength steel panel.
Yeah, I underestimate aluminum sometimes, and I'll estimate a car and be like, oh, it's not that bad, and knowing it's aluminum, and then sometimes it's too far gone. It's just sometimes I kind of kick myself in the ass for those cars, but it's at least trying it, getting out there, trying it, and you're gonna know, when you're kind of experienced, within the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, how this is gonna go,
how it's gonna react. Yeah.
And so, but when it comes to the high strength steel and ultra high strength, I feel like that you still can move those easier than aluminum. So I don't know.
Well, so with the aluminum now, you got Audi that's doing the high strength steel, which I think, high strength steel. I think they've kind of been the leader at doing the high strength steel back in 2010, 2011. And they have that new Audi A8, which has been all aluminum for the last, I want to say 8 or 9 years, I believe. So we have that. Mercedes tends to run, I think, a lot of aluminum now. They don't really do the high strength steel. Same thing with BMW. It's either aluminum or steel, which is very good. Their steel is very good. The paint is very good on those German cars. I'm trying to think of another manufacturer that's kind of you got to watch out for. I know the Honda, the Nissan. Dave, you said the Hyundais, right? Or the Kias or something, right?
What
were we just talking about? You said the new Hyundai. That one customer that I had.
No, I said I'm sure. Because I feel like a lot of these newer manufacturers, it's always like a hit or miss. Because I know Honda put high strength steel on some of the fenders, and then some aren't. So it's just like it's with these new manufacturers coming out with these new cars, it's almost kind of like a hit or miss. So I don't, I put it in a Mobile Tech RX, and that's pretty much how I distinguish, what it's going to be, or if I'm going to have any issues with it.
So I'm going to give you guys a little spill on Mobile Tech RX, if I can quickly get one up here. So just a rough idea here. This is kind of a bad example, but this is a 2016 Forester, and the hood is aluminum. It'll say aluminum right here. Hopefully you guys can see that, but that's pretty much. And then if it says high strength steel, it'll be listed high strength steel.
Was it HSS?
HSS, yeah. So let's see here. I'm trying to find one that has it. I know this one doesn't have it. And this is a 2016 S-Class, and you can see it's pretty much all aluminum other than the roof and the rail. So
just I take that into account, especially when I'm estimating. If I'm estimating or even just fixing, like repair time, it's going to be longer. Estimating, it's going to be higher because it's going to take more work. It's going to be longer. So, but then there's those challenges where it's like you really want to, fix it and you can't because it's aluminum. It's already too far gone, which kind of sucks. But the boxes that are coming, like all these new box, like the hot box and stuff like that, that's able to help with aluminum damage. They have an aluminum box, correct? I believe.
Yeah, they make an aluminum hot box.
Yeah,
they make a hot box, but they don't make that power PDR.
But that will help with shrinking the damage. The same.
I never tried it. I don't.
haven't
I
tried
just
it
don't
either.
think I just don't think aluminum will do that. But I may be wrong. So, but let's see here. So next question, guys. Since we're talking about aluminum, so is there an added cost to repairing aluminum, high strength steel, or ultra high strength steel? Ryan, do you want to go?
Of course, at least I think it's 25% in Mobile Tech RX for aluminum, I believe.
I think it's 50 actually.
Is it?
Yeah. So I'm going to bring you guys to a study, and I'm going to leave it in the description real quick after the show. But it's a study from the Automotive Service Association. And I don't want you guys to read my notes, but this is a study of aluminum study back in 2016. And it basically says, and if you guys want this article, I actually got this article through Paul Corden. And he's been a part of the PDR community talking about pricing. So, but it basically says that aluminum is 70 to 150% more pressure that needs to be applied versus steel. And it does a great study. It actually shows you it was actually a controlled environment, and they actually took several manufacturers. This was at the Audi Training Center. And Dave, can you go ahead and link that link the article in the chat, and then I'll put it in the description too. But so they did two tests. They did a test at a 45-pound pressure and 75-pound pressure on different manufacturers. So some of the manufacturers that they did was Volvo aluminum, Nissan aluminum, Mustang aluminum, Ford aluminum basically, and then Buick, Nissan Sentra, Ford Fusion, Honda hoods. And it's crazy because from the Nissan Sentra to the Nissan Altima is completely different. They did the Corolla hood, the Soul, the Honda Accords, the Corollas, and the Camrys. Looks like they did two different Corollas. So this is a very, very good article for anybody that's interested in it. If you guys have a problem with upcharging, this is our next question about what we charge for this. But it basically also talks about the fact that all aluminum's metal is not the same. So if I remember correctly, so the people that were there was Farmers Insurance, some Audi people. Looks like they were the Collision Center, Collision Week. Paul Corden was there, and a few guys from the National Alliance of Paintless Dent Repair Technicians. So if you guys are doing hail and you guys have a problem with aluminum getting an upcharge, you may want to get this report. And thanks for Paul Corden for letting me know about this report. It's actually a 2016 study. So, and we linked the report in the chat. So going back to the added cost, what do you normally charge, Ryan, for aluminum, high strength steel, ultra high strength steel? What's normally your markup, if you're willing to share that?
In between 25 and 50%, usually. Obviously, depending on the damage. If it's a dime-sized dent in a aluminum hood, it's a Nissan, it's in the open, I'm not going to crush them for the 50% for retail. You know what I mean? For the insurance company, we'll do what's done. But the ultra high-strength steel, I've actually never worked on anything with the ultra high-strength steel yet. So I have not run into it.
I just did a search for 2018 Honda Accord, and we go back to Hondas because they are looks like they're favoring the ultra high strength steel and high strength steel, and they said that 59% of the new Accord is high strength steel and 22% of it is ultra high strength steel. So that's like the rest of the cars, like what, 20-something% is regular steel, I guess. So that's sad, but so you probably will be seeing it. I think all the Audis are ultra high strength steel too. I'm about to Google it right now. Dave, what do you do for markup? Do you mark up the
Same as
price?
Ryan. Yeah, same as Ryan. I just take that into consideration when I'm, estimating a vehicle.
And how do you justify that markup to the customer? How do you
It's
interpret it?
harder to repair, a little more technical. You
Hey.
always go through the whole thing of aluminum doesn't have memory like steel. You explain that whole process. You always have a chance of fracturing the aluminum. So, that is an edge. I use a lot of heat with aluminum damage, so it definitely makes a difference.
The myth is that aluminum is softer than steel. And the nice thing about this study is it actually shows you with the same 75% or 45% pressure, it actually is stronger, which we all know as PDR technicians that it's definitely a lot harder to push out. So as far as with my company, we basically charge 25% markup for high strength steel, aluminum, and ultra high strength steel. So I think we kind of do. You guys charge 50 or 25?
It depends on the situation.
Okay, depends on the den job and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So one thing that we haven't talked about is when you work in aluminum. Well, actually, let's go to the next slide here. I kind of like my slides. So here we go. Uh-oh. So what is the best way to repair ultra high strength steel, aluminum, and high strength steel?
Aluminum for sure with heat, sharp tips.
Yes.
I'm with you on that. Definitely sharp tips.
And the high strength steel and the ultra high strength. I mean, I think metal on metal is the easiest, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think.
And heat.
I'm with
I
you.
think heat makes a big difference with aluminum. Like, certainly big aluminum damage. It definitely makes the repair a little easier.
100%. 100%.
What I'm trying to get out of when I repair aluminum is leverage. It seems like you need a lot more kind of footing to actually remove that dent. You're putting a lot more pressure trying to get that dent. So
It definitely requires more power.
Right.
A lot more power.
So sometimes it will change, and that's probably why you use a sharp tip. So at least one of the reasons for me. But you may change your approach based on the leverage that you're given.
Totally.
At least that's what I noticed. For me,
now,
sometimes you can glute pull.
Have you noticed on high metallic silvers when you're pushing a sharp dent out of aluminum and it comes up, and you can almost see that line in the center to where it's grabbing the metallics? So that's one thing you definitely have to watch out for. If you have a large dent and you're making a lot of pushes, it'll leave like this little line in the center, and the metallics will fall in it. Gives it that modeling effect. So you definitely have to watch that, and you're almost over pushing at that point. Sometimes on you'll see it on a lot of aluminum if it's large damage, but a lot of times you can wet sand it out and you won't see it. But with high metallics, it
Hello, guys.
Yo.
Whoa, what happened here?
We lost it all.
This has been a rocky start on this one. There we go. We're back. All right. We got everything back or what? Looks like we got everything back. Wow. All right. Everybody's saying we're back. So that's great.
We are back. What is
Okay.
going on today?
It's not switching now.
It's all right. As long as we get it up.
Sure.
All right,
All right, we're
guys.
back. Sorry about that. That's. But go ahead, Ryan. You were saying.
Talking about the fracturing, correct?
Correct.
So with the aluminum, a lot of times you'll bring the dent up and it'll leave a little line in the center of a sharp aluminum dent. If it's high metallic silver, if it's just a metallic vehicle, a lot of times it'll move those metallics around. And what it'll do, it'll kind of model the paint. It'll give it these little dark specks. Even though it's flat, it'll still give it those dark specks. So you have to watch out for that and bring it up a little slower. It'll happen a lot of time with the sharp tips. So.
Yeah. Looks like someone uses the R4. That's a good tip to use. I'm getting hacked by someone. I don't know. Hopefully not. All right. So is that it on the aluminum repairs? Is there anything else we need to talk about?
No, I think we covered it.
I'm trying to get it to switch over again. It's just not switching here. Golly, it's crazy.
But all right, go ahead, Chris.
All right, so let's go over some Q&A since we got through with the aluminum study. And guys, go ahead and check out that article. It is a very good article that Dave linked. I'll put it again. I think that's it. So there you go. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them right now.
Shabazz Jenkins says if it's high, it'll fly. If it's low, it'll show. That's a pretty good way of putting it. Jeez.
The guy that I was contracting for, he said same thing. If it's high, it'll fly. If it's low, it won't go. But he's right though.
Jonathan Shepard's saying the same thing. Sometimes a paint will wrinkle. That's kind of the same thing that I was explaining. It'll kind of leave like a little weird mark in the center. So even if you use heat and it's a bad dent, sometimes it'll do it. So it's really just the way the base coat's laying inside of that weird crevice. So that was exactly what I was explaining.
Yeah, any other questions? Is Dave here?
I don't think so.
Man, this has been a
yeah, man, it happens every couple, it happened number 2. So there's Dave.
Dave, are you back or what?
All right.
Oh, he said he's trying to reconnect here.
You guys have any questions?
There we go. Jesus.
Craziness.
It's like freezing over here and I can't click anything.
Yeah, I'm over here trying to figure out what's going on. This is just crazy. All right, any other questions, guys? You want to answer? Sometimes sprinkle in the paint. I've noticed also that I can't take on some of the sharp and not necessarily big, but really, big damage when it's on the aluminum. Just does not react the same, which the outcome is not the same. So I turned down a little bit more aluminum just from the size of the damage.
I've got one that I sent you guys a picture today. It was a 16 F-150 pearl white. He brushed a pole. So it's a rear door kind of rolled against the pole. The lower body line has multiple little creases throughout it and then a big dent at the top. So we're going to see how this one goes. You can kind of see the lower brace. It's poking through a little bit in one spot. So I don't know. I'm going to give it a try. He said, okay, let's do it. We priced it right, so we'll see. It's going to be an interesting one. So
that's the one for the video.
I'm going to have to video that one. So
there we go.
Anybody use the doodad?
There we go.
I do not, but I have seen videos of Dave Johnson using it. I think he uses it quite a bit. It looks like a pretty good tool, certainly for fenders, and quarter smashes if you're trying to get that inner wheelhouse back out. It seems like it's got a lot of torque. So, but I do not have it.
Yeah.
Josh Slick's asking if anybody's used a centipede yet.
I have. Definitely a good glue tab.
Yeah, and when knocking down on aluminum, metal. I use metal. I mean, it doesn't seem like that the nylon or plastic or Delrin or whatever else does not knock down as well.
Yeah.
VIP. Well, I'm rocking the 1.0s. I like those. I don't really like the 2.0 for some reason. I'm rocking the old school 1.0s. VIP knockdowns in my pocket every day.
I've got a bunch of them here. I bought a bunch.
Yeah, I need more. So. I want the old school ones.
Well, in 2 weeks when it hails here, you'll just be able to grab one.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. I'll bring your mat too.
Thanks. Don't lend this guy Davo any tools. You will never get him back.
Nope. Don't do it. Don't do it unless you're giving it to me.
Oh my gosh.
You can get rid of it. I'm horrible with it. Horrible.
Yeah,
I don't mean to, and I don't mean to. It just happens that way.
It's Davo. It's the O way.
I guess.
So yeah, centipedes are good. What's the next one? Thanks.
I want to know who has a TDN card, and if anyone has a TDN card, I know you have one, Chris.
I got.
Do you have the big one, right?
No, I got the small one actually. I don't have the big monster one. I don't have a green one. It's a gold one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If anyone has a nice setup of a TDN card, can someone please let me know if they like it? Like a good setup, not like a clean setup, not
what are you trying to say?
Not Chris's setup.
I use a TDN. You know what? That cart is actually pretty good because I've rolled that thing off my truck. That thing has went through hell, and it nothing's damaged on it. So I gotta give props up to TDN.
I'd like to see some other people's setups.
It's a 75-pound cart, but and I got a small one, so I can only imagine the big one. You're not getting that in here. Well, you got a van, so it's not that bad.
And I need to set up an inverter. I just saw Manny's PDR. I was talking to him today. He's going to give me the instructions. Whole inverter set up in the back.
Oh, okay. I know when I used to run one, it used to drain my alternator pretty bad.
Yeah, I see. I don't know how it should all be correctly set up, but it's going to be set up.
You just need to call James and let him walk you through the whole process because it seemed like he figured that out with his.
He did explain it once, but then it was super confusing. And so Manny, I think, is going to break it down for me nice and easy and tell me what to do. So once I do that, I'll let you guys know. I'll make a video of it and I'll put it up. Windy City Dent Repair, YouTube. Please go and subscribe.
So how is the training class coming along?
It is.
I think we got some good things. We're finalizing the date right now. And this will be another free class, right? Right, Ryan? So it'll be another free class that we put on last year. So hopefully see everybody there actually.
May 19th.
May 19th, okay. So it's coming up fast. So we're gonna probably have the website. Hopefully, I'm supposed to jump on the phone with Brandon tonight.
Probably Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay.
Yeah.
So it's almost ready for you guys to register. Again, it's free, so you just got to register.
And come down and just be a dent dork.
Yep.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah. We're gonna have our tools available. We're gonna have some new tools.
We are working with James Lee from Elimident. He is sending over some lights, so you guys will be able to use some of his lights. firsthand if you don't have them. So it's definitely some good stuff coming. You guys will be able to check it out. And
Hey, Sean,
thanks,
go ahead.
James. Appreciate it, man. Supporting the PDR workshop. I greatly appreciate it.
If you guys don't use his lights, go over there and check out his website.
EliminateTools.com.
I'm gonna write you. There you go. So so the class will be in Waldorf, Maryland at my shop. So if you Google Dentless Touch, Waldorf, Maryland, it's only Maryland location we do have. So it will be at my shop, May 19th. And we can pretty much talk. We'll go over the basics of PDR for some of the people who don't know. But we also can go over other things. Just kind of, like you said, be a dent dork. Any other questions you guys have? This looks like it's going to be an early show.
We'll go
I'm having
you want to talk about
connection issues over here.
We'll go a little longer since we were late, but we're still having a ton of issues.
Yeah, this is crazy, but push through just like a dent.
Yeah.
And if you guys please give us a thumbs up, and if you guys check out our Facebook group, where we pretty much post some behind the scenes of dent repair, and I try to explain quick 1-minute videos about what I'm actually doing for this repair. I try to give all my secrets out on this forum, and my thought process when I'm repairing, and Dave and Ryan, they try to do the same during this on the group. So some of the repairs, if you follow me on Facebook, you won't see the repairs. I mean, on Instagram, you won't see them. I only post in the Facebook groups. So definitely go ahead and check that out. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you can. Any other questions? Definitely really like. Do we have any questions from last week, Dave? Tech guy Dave.
I don't have them currently on hand here. I'm talking about the AG Pros 44 about metal knockdowns, and I say metal knockdown every time on aluminum. And then as far as metal knockdowns go, I like the VIP knockdown, or I do before the VIP. I had the Drew's Tools, the Twisty. I really like that metal knockdown as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Twister, I think you call it.
Yeah, Twister, Twisty. I was just a little bit thicker, but you can probably wrap some tape or something around it. But those are my two go-to metal knockdowns.
Yeah, for sure. Good customer service. Yeah, James does have great customer service.
He does. He's
dent on aluminum. I mean, I think it's just like every other tool. It has its purpose. It serves its purpose when you put the right tip on it.
It's leverage.
It's. I work aluminum the same way. I'm just using sharper tip tools, metal on metal, and heat. That's what I'm
doing. So we got a few questions. The dent dial one, it's the same thing for me. I use the dent dial because of the power. So it doesn't matter if it's aluminum or steel. And leverage. So Jenkins said, I was told by a master technician to never knock down until all the lows are out. What do you think about that?
I say knock them down to open them. Because sometimes if you're pushing, especially with, someone as I'm watching right now as a beginner, he's not going to get all of the lows out because he's closing them up. He's closing lows up by hitting on one side, hitting on the other, not going in the right direction. And without knocking down those incorrect pushes,
you're looking over the valleys, under the valleys.
Yeah, you won't be able to actually get all of them out.
I'm a one bad push person. So I make one bad push, I knock it down. I don't even push multiple. You know what I mean? Because when you're going to make it dirty.
It depends on the repair, but yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah, I think I'm with Ryan on that one.
A lot of it's the vision. you know, and like I said, I'm an old whiz. I was always taught if you've got this high spot, you're thinking this side of the high spot is a low spot, and it's really not. This is super high, and you're pushing here. So knock this back down, and it's not as bad as you think. So you always have to watch that peak. I call it the peaks and valleys.
Yep. Kind of like the sunrise on a hill. You kind of
exactly.
You know. So the best way to shrink a dent that's starting to
heat and sharp tools.
I think so too. I've actually used heat and just taking some ice and just cooling real fast. It will tighten that metal up. It's not something spectacular and all of a sudden you got a oil can dent that's not oil canning anymore. But if it's slightly oil can, it may tighten it enough. It may tighten it up enough where it's not going to oil can anymore. But there is the power PDR, right?
Yep.
And that's supposed to shrink steel at least.
It's taken you 12 weeks to get the name correct. I'm very proud of you.
Because eventually I'm going to buy one. So definitely look into the power PDR box. Supposedly it does shrink dents. So I actually had one. Stretch dents. I actually had one yesterday. I mean, what was it? It's Friday. I think I was calling Dave on and I was just so stressed out. And I couldn't get it. It kept oil canning on me. It was in the middle of this Subaru, and the Subaru to me has the worst metal and paint out. And it just was oil canning, big, nasty, kind of shallow dent. It wasn't a sharp dent if you see on the group, but it was just a wide, deep dent. And so when I got that up, it was just oil canning back and forth. And I couldn't get it. I spent 40 minutes getting it to where it's at, and then another 2 hours trying to figure out how to get this oil can out. And I tried to spread the dent out. It just was not working. So unfortunately, that one was a no bill on that one.
So I'm Mr. Jenkins here. He says that dude just pushes it all out and then knocks it all down. So he knows where he's pushing.
Mm-hmm.
If you have someone who's just putting a tool in their hand or something like that, or doesn't really understand how to correctly push a dent and bring all the lows up and actually look for the lows, they're not going to be able to just push it all up and then knock it down smooth. There's going to be textures, going to be incorrect pushes. It's not going to match the surface area around it. So yeah, I don't think pushing all of the lows out all at once and then trying to smooth it down is. But that is just me. I mean, that is, not what I would recommend. Yeah. And if he's doing it for almost 20 years, obviously, he definitely knows what he's doing. If he's trying to explain to you to push all the lows first and then knock it down, there may be some things to adjust within that before pushing it all up per se and then knocking it down.
Right. Or am I the only one?
What?
It's not switching. Wow, the technical difficulties.
The other thing, I can't quite read his name. It's in a different language. I just started 7 days training. It's going great. Once I am done with training, how should I practice before I start working for money?
A while.
Yeah. My guys can't. Training. My guys don't touch anything billable until 4 months. So
yeah, I think that's appropriate. That's appropriate.
And most
somewhere in there.
Most companies have between a 3 to 4 month training process, right?
Yeah.
Ryan?
Yeah.
So, and I think the way we're going to tailor our training, it's going to make sense for you guys because, 2 week, 1 month. I mean, 1 month you can be pretty good if, depending on, your background and how quick you learn, but you're still going to be slow and I don't know. What do you think, Dave? 1 month guy, best guy out 1 month. What do you think?
No, I mean, I don't know. There's
Still no go, huh?
It depends. It depends on the person. I don't know. It's hard. I've been trying to rack my brain around it.
It depends in the market. Depends on your work. If you're all wholesale,
I
you
think
can
it depends on the
probably.
person and how they look at the metal and how they look at the damage and the tools that they're using to fix this stuff. I mean, there's I don't know. I don't
The
know.
Okay,
drive.
let me word that
Yeah,
question.
there's
Then. Have
so
you
to me
ever?
there's like so much that goes behind like wanting to fix dents. Like
Well, we had this talk, but
yeah, it's
okay,
just
but
like
have you seen
there's
someone? What was the fastest guy you've seen change when you're like, whoa, you can do it? I know Manny PDR 1 year, right?
yeah.
So that's pretty impressive to me. It was.
Yeah, when
So
he
shouts
said
out
he
to
was gonna,
Manny.
yeah, Manny's PDR for sure.
You know who was impressive on my end is John, my buddy John Blatney, glue pulling. I mean, he was glue pulling rails like 2 weeks in.
Now is
Like,
glue pulling easier for someone?
I think it's easier.
I think
Knocking
it's easier.
down is a little bit of a science
Because
to
you're
it, but I
getting
think
the
it's
dent
easier.
out with the glue.
Yeah.
Now it's a matter of going back the other way
And it's
rather
placement of the tab.
than
You
trying
know
to
what I
take
mean?
this metal rod, put it behind this panel, and make it look like nothing ever happened by
Yeah.
pushing it. You know what I mean? So
I think
I don't know.
I think a glue is a good starting tool. You know what I mean?
I just know in 7 days that you're not gonna know what is up.
No.
You know.
No. So we've got some stuff in here.
Guy glued a CD to the panel.
I've seen it. I've seen that before.
I seen that picture.
I've seen a sheet of ABS plastic, Q pads. I mean,
Oh man, they do what they got to do when they're on the road, I guess. There's more than one way. Any other questions? Which is not a lot. Dolphins it out, then charge makes the push easier and don't be accurate. But well, congrats on the 7 days training. Let us know, how you're doing in the next show or this show. I don't know how many days you're in. But
so we did have some industry news today. I kind of watched it on Facebook about the Black Box Mafia. Woke up this morning with the email of the cancellation, and there was quite a few people that were upset.
All right.
So it looks like Joe was on a live feed, so if you guys want to hear exactly what he said on Dent Technologies page, there's 2 videos of him kind of explaining what's going on. They really don't have any answers, but they didn't want to keep taking everybody's money. So, that was this morning. I was seeing the feed of pissed off people. So, I think they're still dealing with the insurance company and all that mess. But
yeah, that's unfortunate. We'll see how that plays out.
Takes time.
We have a question. So he says, we never mentioned when glue pulling the paint off, and how often does it happen to us?
As long as you're not working on a Subaru or
the Ford, right?
or a repainted panel.
It doesn't happen often. I can't say it happens often. But
when's the last time you pulled the paint?
That Honda Odyssey that I had talked about, I think previously on these shows.
Well, time before
that. It was winter. I don't know. Every time I pull paint, but it's
I had a Subaru. I did the whole rail. It was probably wrecked. I mean, it was probably 45 dents in a roof rail of a blue Subaru. Get to the very last dent. It was at the corner of the back glass and the trunk, that very corner. Poop, pull the paint. So, the good thing is, me personally, I use a waiver for retail customers just to cover me legally. But on body shops, it's at a body shop. I mean, there's always a chance. It's always a chance.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to remember the last time I pulled paint. I probably pull maybe every 8 to 9 months. And it's always something where I knew I shouldn't have worked on it. It's not surprising. The Subaru one was surprising, I think 2 years ago. I just did a little small dent in the door, and I look back, and the whole clear is gone. I didn't understand why. So that was surprising. But other than that, excuse me, not very often, and I don't really use the waiver that much. There was a Porsche that I did, 911. I'm not painting that whole car. It was a repaint on the car, and that's when I had them use the waiver. So I don't pull paint that much, I guess.
Yeah, and
It's like maybe once a
someone
year.
said too, I never glue pulled chip dents. I don't either. You know, if
No.
there's a chip in it,
Yeah, I don't
I'm
do
not
it.
running that risk. I have before, and mostly on Porsches with chip paint. For some reason, like they pull well. But it's very rare that I do though.
On a repaint car, a lot of times I'll use clear packing tape, or fresh painted car. Sometimes if they just painted the panel, I've used clear packing tape that works really well with.
But that won't work. That won't ruin the new repaint.
There's always a chance. I tell them anytime, at a shop, if it's a fresh painted panel,
Yeah.
you know,
These are the
it's a
things I can
chance,
do, and you let me know what you want.
hey, there is a chance we could pull the paint, and they're like, well, if you can't get the dent out of it, I'm repainting it anyway. So I'll put the clear packing tape on there, and pow,
Yeah.
So, but the clear packing tape works really well. I keep a big
Yeah.
roll in the truck. I use it on flat painted surfaces. I use it on wraps. So, or on the Challenger that has the flat black stripes on them that get the damage in it also. I've used it on those. So,
So when you pull the paint, who eats the bill? On certain, like, I know it's different scenarios. So have you ever pulled the
No.
paint and had to pay for it?
No.
Yeah, I did
I
on
have.
that Odyssey. I paid for half.
I have. So when it does happen, you tend to get the
If
bill.
it's if it wasn't like that before, and you created something that was there, I mean, like that to me would be the right thing. Like,
Yeah.
But you also
pay
have
for
to
it.
look at it two ways. You look at it two ways. They're coming to you because they're irritated by the dent or the damage.
Correct.
So they're either going to go to you or they're going to go to the body shop.
Correct.
And that's my thought process. I've never had a customer that I've pulled paint on and they were so upset that I've had to pay. Obviously.
See, so I guess I'm just upfront about it, where it's
Yeah.
like, look, I did this. I don't
Right.
want any chance of like, hey, this may happen. Like we may come into a situation where, oh, well, it's going to cost this much. Like I want you to pay for it because it wasn't like that before. Like, no, it wasn't like that before. Yes, you had a dent. Yes, we tried to fix it, but we pulled the paint in the process. So we ruined it at that point. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
the
No, I'm
paint's
with you.
completely gone. So I don't know. That's just, I would feel completely bad and just go ahead and just own up to it.
Yeah, that's what I do. I pretty much pay for it to a certain degree. If I already warn the customer, hey, it's a repaint,
Yeah.
I'm not going to know until I pull on it, then I probably wouldn't pay for it. I'll touch it up for free and stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
if we're having them sign a waiver to saying that this happens, then, all right, cool. Then at that point, then I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But
I have. I've gotten like I said, I do the waivers. But every instance is different.
Yeah, I think so.
I've had a car that I've wet sand and buffed, and there was a scratch little spot through the bumper, and I get the dent out of it, I get the scratch out of the panel, and I go and I'm buffing the bumper, and the paint just flies off the bumper. And I ended up paying to have the bumper painted. And that wasn't even part of the repair. I was kind of doing it as a favor, but it is what it is. It is. It's the cost of doing business.
Yep. Any other questions? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's easier to make him happy than him tell 5 of his friends that you tore his stuff up.
Yeah.
exactly.
Will Cola Fria pull the paint like
Yes.
glue.
Yep.
Not all, but it has. Yes, I've pulled paint on a repainted fender, on a wholesale car. Really depends on the damage.
Yeah.
But I use Colafria quite a bit. More than you guys don't use it at all, do you?
I don't even have it.
Oh man, you're missing the boat.
No,
So missing the boat.
I don't. There's times where I'm like, damn, I wish I had it. And then there's times where it's like, do I really need it?
I'll just heat up my glue.
I heat up my glue. I'm already here.
I tell you, I did a old.
This is one of
what
those
was
things.
Toyota Solara door quarter last week, a convertible. Like I don't even know what.
I
year
just
it
feel
was.
like I'm
It was
not
2000.
getting damage that's like appropriate for it.
Come to Baltimore.
I guess I'm just not getting like where it's like I feel like I could use it every day, all day. Cold glue.
I wouldn't say I use it all day long,
But
I
I've
use
had it before. The thing is, like, I've had it before, and I did use it. But it's like as soon as it got cold, like it wasn't worth anything. So I was able to use it for 3 months, and then it was shot.
Torch.
So now I'm breaking out another tool.
I don't know. This man's pretty efficient, so I don't know.
I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do a video. You're gonna edit it, and you're gonna be like, okay, I need to go use some tab tape.
All right, put your camera where your mouth is. Give me that footage.
Can't justify $600.
Well, Shabazz, there is other options. There's a tab tape. That's what I have. I don't actually use the actual Colafria slide hammer. I would love to have it, but the tab tape was efficient for me. So you do have other options. The other thing that I do have is I got a container of the Colafria, and I actually use it on gangrene tabs, and it works pretty well. So if it's a smaller, a lot of the tab tapes are pretty big. So if you need something smaller, I put it right on a gangrene tab, just leave it on the tab, put it on wax paper in a separate container, and it works great. So you do have other options in $600.
That's how much it costs for the Colafria?
I don't know what Canadian transfer is.
Oh,
the Colafria
okay.
with the slide hammer that you can get. I know James Lee sells it at a limit end. I think it's $514 or something.
Ooh.
But it's an awesome slide hammer. It's got a
swivel, like a swivel,
end swivels. It's got different tips on it. It's a cool, well-made slide hammer. But it's a lot of money.
Yeah. I'll use my glue.
Come on.
Heat up my glue gun.
7 damn glue guns at your house.
I do.
Might as well you put them to use.
I definitely do. I'm telling you, I've been using that Stucky glue gun, man. That base has just been killing it. I know there's nothing that James Lee can do because it uses the your battery that you do have, but man, something about that wide battery from Stucky, it's just, I don't know, it doesn't tip over. It's just solid. So, and it lasts literally all day on. So really it's the battery. The gun, I like James Lee gun. It's just the battery that I have to attach it is crazy. Those green tabs are stronger. Yep. The green tabs are pretty good. I think they got the is there something that pulls harder than the green tabs? I think the root beer pulls harder.
I stopped using them because they break.
Yeah, it's worth it. Those things pull hard.
Believe me,
that oval one.
I'll tell you that the square.
I don't have that, so I don't know.
Man, they are beast. They are just beast.
I think
talk about this every week. He should.
I should just go in there and buy some right now.
They are great. The square tabs
from Black Plague
PDR. Come on, Keith. Yeah. Send me some square tabs.
Black Plague PDR with that green glue. Any other questions, guys?
Ja, the I have broken some green tabs, so you're gonna break tabs. You can kind of see them when they're starting to get a little worn out, when they turn a little lighter around the base where the stud is. So they do break. I don't think there's anything out there that won't break right now. So
yep. If anybody tried to smooth the ice,
no,
you haven't.
like smooth, like blue ice ones, like from
Yeah, the
Kiko?
blue.
Yeah,
The blue ice ones, yeah.
they pull a lot, like the gangrene.
Okay.
You know, it's very similar.
Okay.
It's definitely a different material. Chris, me and you were using them at the Kiko training.
At
They
the
had a
Kiko
bunch of the
training.
blue ice.
Yep.
But it's very similar. They don't break. They're just as much. They're just as strong as the green. So.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I am going to order them right now. Literally putting the order in. Any other questions we have? Show the green. Pull on YouTube. Yes. So Ryan, they're asking you to show how they work.
Okay.
So
I can do that
for you guys. Rectangle pools. Oh, he's confirmed your rectangle. Yeah, the rectangles pull good. I like those too. I actually cut them up. But if you get the oval, it's kind of the same. Same thing. Anything else?
No, sir.
We're gonna wrap it up. Y'all want to wrap it up? You want to plug yourself? Boom, boom, boom.
Windy City Dent Repair, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Follow, subscribe, comment. Give me something to talk about. Email me at windycitydentrepair@gmail.com. Give me some questions, some topics to talk about. I want to start filming some stuff.
And I did get those price guides out, guys. So
I need to get those hats asked for them. For sure.
Whoever asked about the price guides, I mailed them last week. I was waiting on one more zip code. So they went out. Let me know when you get them, how they work. My stuff is RPS Dent Repair, RPS Dent Specialist, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and soon to be YouTube.
Hey.
Hey guys, before you head out, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciate that. And go ahead and join the Facebook group so we can, keep this kind of Q&A going throughout the week. And stay tuned for the new website, which will be launched on pdrworkshop.com.
Got a lot of stuff coming this year.
Definitely a lot of stuff's coming.
May 18th. May 18th.
19th, right? 19th, I think.
Oh, here we go. Now we got people all messed up.
19th.
Dave, you wanna share some of the new things or not yet? Oh man, I can't wait. Anyway, all right, so guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next week at 7 p.m. Thanks again, guys.
See ya.